Whee!
Curse you, Perry the platypus.
Audio check. I swear I only put my headphones on in between songs because I'm like, I put my headphones on and then I'm like, oh no, the audio's not working, there's no music. And then the song starts. How's everybody doing? I have something very important to say.
I've been having some hearing issues lately. I tried calling the tinnitus hotline, but it just kept ringing.
Yeah, checks out. Thank you, Weatherman, for 59 months. Very much appreciated. I am late tired. I am late tuckered out. Hello, our man, Weatherman, Tim, our man with the first, Armchair. Pessimistic snake. Ollie, Dave, Legamoof, Weatherman. Kitty cat with his nose in his tail. He's got his paw on top of his tail and his nose underneath his tail. Oh, I was gonna say I was trying to show it, but it's gonna break the camera. Yeah. Oh, I actually had a pop-up of my camera being like, is your camera broken? Yeah, but I know. I'm not gonna wait another 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna go to the scene. How is everybody doing today? I'm gonna hop on the Minecraft server, even though I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Oh my goodness. No, I got a new camera because the previous camera was breaking way harder than that. This one only has the issue when I'm actually like moving the camera and stuff, but it doesn't have the issue every single day. Like the old camera would like glitch out and flicker and have video issues even when I wasn't moving the camera. Yeah. Yeah. I try not to, like, but it's the kind of thing where it's like you have to move the camera. It's a cat cam. I can't just leave it in one spot. And I try to be delicate with it. No, not that one, Tim. Not the 13-year-old one. It was the one we left in the shed for a year. Yeah. I don't remember what I was thinking. Yeah. There's at least 2 cameras that are not currently in use. No, 3 cameras. One of them is like a Microsoft one. That's the 13-year-old camera. There's another one that's the previous version of this one, which is just like some random brand. I don't know what it is. And then there's another Logitech somewhere that's not being used because if you try to use 2 Logitech cameras at the same time, they get really pissy. Ow. You know what, phone? Fine. Do the fucking update. Just update. Yeah, how's everybody doing? What day is it today? Wednesday? Oh my goodness. It do be the Wednesday. Doesn't feel like a Wednesday, no. I mean, to me it feels like a Thursday or a Tuesday, but not a Wednesday. I think my brain is just mush. I worked very hard today. It was one of those things where basically, originally I planned on doing meal prep on Wednesday because that's one of the Tesco days. We get like Tesco deliveries. So it makes sense to do like meal prep on that day because it's like I already, like we have like groceries and stuff being delivered. So a lot of the time I have like ingredients that I need being delivered. But then when I saw the weather forecast for this week, it was like, it's been rainy pretty much all the time. But it was like sunny, 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 like Wednesday onward. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll do meal prep on Tuesday, and then I'll do yard work on Wednesday onward. Wednesday onward, I'll have time to try and do a couple things around the yard, you know? Stuff where it's been too muddy to do it before. Nice leg move. I needed to take a shower, but I did not. But yeah, so yesterday I did all the meal prep. And then today I was just like lethargic and didn't really want to do anything. Didn't really want to accomplish anything. And then when I woke up this morning, it was overcast and just kind of meh. And then I checked the weather and it was like, oh yeah, no, it's going to be overcast and meh all day now. It's not sunny anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, on the one hand, that's better working conditions for me because then I don't have to worry about like sun exposure. But also, I wanted to get yard work done and I was like mentally prepared to do yard work. So what did I do? I started off and I was like, well, maybe I'll just, because I was feeling like I was moving like really slowly. So I was like, maybe I'll just do a couple, like 2 or 3 things. Maybe I'll just try to do like 2 or 3 things that are like on the to-do list, but aren't like super weather dependent, you know? Things that aren't like the most priority, but like need to get done. Tim is fixated on me using the word yard versus garden. But yeah, so I started off and we had our heating oil top up like a month or so ago or something. But before we had it topped up, we just didn't bother having the, because there's like a something that's plugged in the kitchen and it reads like how much oil is in the tank. And was it last, I don't know, for a very, very, very long time. Yes, timed that well, Dave. For a very, very, very long time, we just haven't had it on because there was no point. And then when we did try to put it on, it like wasn't working or something. Or was it the last time we filled it? Either way, we just haven't bothered having the measurement thing on because we had a general idea of what was in there and it wasn't a big deal. But the last time we tried to turn that on, hey Val and Piewacket, the last time we tried to turn that on to see how much oil was in the tank, it wasn't working. It was giving the like error code of like, either you need to clean the sensor or you need to change the battery or something. And then yeah, we had the fuel top up. And then it was still giving that error. And we're like, fuck it. We'll do it another day. We'll, you know, I'll check it. Like, it's a hassle. We'll do it a day that's like not pissing rain, you know? So I was like, well, today's not pissing rain and it's not sunny. So that's something I can do. That's something I can start off with. Yeah, Tim spoilers. So that's something I can start off with. Once again, I had to look at the PDF on my phone to figure out how to take that, because it's like there's 2 holes on the sensor that look like screw holes, but they're not. And then there's 2 screws, and you take those off, and they're like, okay, but now what? And it's like underneath, there's like a gasket under, like you take the 2 screws off, you take the sensor off, and then on the bottom of it, there's like a gasket seal thing. And underneath that, which is kind of like glued on basically, there's like 2 screws on the underside, and you take those 2 screws out, and then you can take it apart, and then you can change the battery and stuff. So took it apart, changed the battery, Tim checked it, it was like 0.37. So we're like, that's probably the problem. And then I put it back, and like the problem with the thing is the way it's set up is that you're so paranoid that you're gonna drop screws into the internal like part of the oil tank where you'll never get it back again. So I was just like paranoid the entire time, trying not to drop screws. Also, there was giant fuck off sized spiders, which I was like, go away, can you move please? It would literally, there was a giant fuck off spider on the sensor that I was trying to deal with, and I had to like flick it to be like, can you move, thanks. Hello Shaitan. But yeah, I got the thing off, read the PDF, figured out how to uninstall and reinstall, changed the battery, it was dead. Put the battery back in, turned the thing on the wall, and it was like giving the same error, like, oh, you need to wipe the sensor. And it's like, well, we'll wait. We'll just wait. We'll see. So we waited, and then eventually the sensor worked. So that was the first thing. And then after that, I was like, oh, I could do a couple other little things, so we've got 2 bird bath areas in the yard, and they were both kind of mucky. So I just hosed those out. Well, and to do that, like I was like, oh, I'll just clean these. And then I was like, oh, I'll just get the hose from... No, so I must have done something else before that. I don't know. Oh, no, that's what I did. I got the bag that we use for recycling in the house and the little bin that I use for compost in the kitchen. I took those outside and I sprayed those down. And like as soon as I put the recycling bag outside, Kitty jumped in it. And I was like, I'm trying to clean this. I'm about to put water and soap in this. So I sprayed it down, disinfected it, scrubbed it out a little bit. There's just that little bit of like lick at the bottom all the time, that like, if you don't clean it's gonna stay there forever. So clean those out. Scrubbed the compost one, got it nice and relatively squeaky clean. And then I was like, oh, well, since I've got the brush and since I've got the hose for the water, may as well do the bird baths. So I rinsed out the bird baths and brushed those out. And then, oh yeah, November 2024 was the last time it was filled. So, yeah. And yeah, it wasn't empty, but it was empty enough to want to fill it. Like I said, we didn't even know how much was in there, honestly. It's more than a wee top up, but yeah. It was good timing. But yeah, no, so I did the bird baths, and then the one bird bath has been kind of like leaning, because I've got like little like tent spike things to like hold it in the ground. So I took all the little pole spike things out and I wiggled it around until it was flatter and put that down. And then I got a brick, because there's like, currently there was nothing in the bird bath, so I got a brick. Instead of like looking around the whole yard for rocks, there's like a half brick we have. And I put that in there. I might find some pretty rocks to put on top of it, but for now it's like, before we get to baby bird season, I want to make sure there's something in there for birds to climb on top of if they fall in. And then Tim was like, oh, you could do the gutter, because the gutter right above the garage door, it's been repaired at least once, maybe twice before, but it's leaking, basically, again. The silicone that was put on it isn't working anymore. So then we got the ladder out, and we got the bucket, and I got one of the like dish gloves from the shed. And then I just scooped out, there's the 2 little gutters. One we share with the next door neighbor, but both these ones I can actually reach. The ones above, like at the top of the house, I can't fucking reach. Need to get someone in to empty those out at some point, because we're basically growing wheat up there at this point. But yeah, got the bucket and the glove and the ladder. Reached as far as I could over to the neighbor's side to scoop as much moss and mud out of the bottom gutter. And that's when Kitty jumped up on the fence to be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" So that's when I took a picture of Kitty on the roof. And then after that, he walked on the fence and went on top of the shed to be like, I'm gonna be what's the word? I'm gonna observe from over here, basically. So then I moved the ladder, got to the other gutter, scooped it all out, figured out how the clips worked, unclipped it, had to like finagle it, because it was like, the way that it is installed is like underneath one of the metal sheet things under the tiles, so it's awkward. Got it out. And yeah, the silicone was basically completely demolished by a plant that was like going underneath all of it. Supervisor, that's the word I was looking for. You don't have a blackbird that clears yours? No, we do have, we have a bunch of starlings that like to stand on the peak of the neighbor's roof above our garage and make funny noises, but that's about as good as we got. But yeah, I got like, I don't know how to explain size, but basically the whole bottom of the bucket full, like quite a heavy amount of dirt and muck out of there, considering. But yeah, took that down, disassembled it. Tim and I took turns like cleaning it and scrubbing it and wiping it. We didn't do 100%. We held ourselves back, but we did get it pretty clean, you know. And then I was like, I need a break because I'm about to have a meltdown. I just feel like I'm gonna give up. I'm giving up now. So I went in the house, I went pee, I stretched, I got myself some chocolate, I sat down outside on the pavement, and Kitty came over, and he was like, "Oh, pet me! Oh, I'm gonna fight you! Oh, pet me! Oh, I'm gonna fight you!" I'm like, okay. So it's like, oh, we're fighting. Oh, we're friends. Oh, we're fighting. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I was just like, I just need a break. I'm gonna go pee, I'm gonna get a snack, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna have a drink. And then of course while I was doing that, Tim got out the silicone, and started like putting that on the end cap of the, basically it's because the gasket seal or whatever for the end of the gutter is like cracking and just disintegrating, so it doesn't actually seal it. It holds it together well enough, but like it doesn't stop water getting through, that's for sure. So the reason why we're doing this is because it keeps like basically leaking down the side of the house in a way that's not great for like, you know, longevity of anything. So sealed that up, and basically we're like, yeah, that's good enough. And then reinstalled that. Broke one of the clips. Broke half of one of the clips when I was putting it back on. So I'm like, oh, well, gotta be real careful about those now. But it did get reinstalled and sorted. And then what else did I do? I'm just like not even halfway. What else did I do? I know I did at least one other bigger thing, but every downpour is a free shower. Yeah, there's a couple of houses around us where like the whole end cap itself would just like get lost, like fall off and disappear. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, literally just one of those like waterfall showers, basically. Trying to think of what I did next specifically. Oh, I hosed off the plastic table that I always disassemble every year and then put back together. It's in the shed and it's being like spray pissed on by Bagheera and or other cats. So I took that out of the shed and I hosed that down and wiped it down and sponged it off. And then I scraped all the like cat food out of the shed because there's like little, you know, hardened bits. So I cleared that out. And oh, and then I got some soapy water. I had to empty the bucket out because the bucket was full of the moss and dirt. I put the moss and dirt on the cherry tree roots because both cherry trees have roots that are exposed, because that's where the blackbirds go, is they'll flick all the wood chips from underneath all the trees. They flick all those wood chips out and expose the roots. So I did that, put all the moss down on those, and then I got a sponge out, rinsed out the bucket, filled the sponge with soapy water, because we've had issues with some kind of bug on the cherry trees a couple years. And apparently the fix is to like rub the trees with like soapy water or whatever just before the leaves and stuff start bursting open and budding. So I don't get every branch, not anymore, but you know, I get the majority just with some dish soap and water. So I sponged both of the cherry trees. And then with the soapy sponge, I you know, dumped that on the table as well. I just used water before, but I dumped the spongy water on it. And then I think it was like, yeah, I think before the sponging even, Tim was like, you did enough things, you can stop now. And I'm like, I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 more things. Because I also wanted to like, because it got dirty, so I wanted to like wash my clothes and stuff too. So then I was like, there's a tree growing between our shed and the next door neighbor. I want to remove it before it gets too big to remove, you know? I want to remove it before it gets to the point where removing it's going to kill it. And even Tim was like, well, you could just cut it. You don't have to remove it, right? Tim with the spoilers. But yeah, I was gonna go in there with a shovel, but Tim was like, oh, use a fork, and I was like, oh, you're so right. So I used a fork, a garden fork, to lift and loosen up the dirt to try and find all the roots, and then just like follow those roots down and like remove them that way. It had a pretty extensive root system considering the location and like some of where the roots were going. But I did manage to lift it. It took a lot more effort than I wanted. I was getting very frustrated and tired at that point. There was also a fern behind the shed. Oh, and I had to get the bucket out again. I basically filled the bucket with dirt just to try and like get under this roots of this plant without, you know, making a huge mess. I had rooted dirt, true. So yeah, managed to get the tree out, and then managed to get the fern out, and then it was like, well, what are we going to do with this tree? And then, you know, it was like, I can't remember, was it Tim? Was Tim the one who recommended, like, I could offer it to the neighbor, the ex-neighbor? I don't remember. Tim or I had the great idea. We're like, oh, instead of figuring out where to plant this, trying to find a spot for it, because we don't really have any space in the yard for it. We could just offer it to our ex-neighbor. So I messaged our ex-neighbor and was like, hey, you want a mystery tree? And then I took a picture. And it was like about, like, I think it was a little bit taller than the door. Like, it's just a spindly little stick, basically, but like strong and happy looking, straight up and down, lots of buds on it, lots of little tiny branches. And she was like, yes! Laughing, crying emoji, yes. So I was like, well, I'm making lunch, so either you can come by and say hi, and you can bring Archie, so Tim can say hi to Archie, or I can bring it around a little bit later. So I gave the tree a diaper. I put some like moist paper towel just in a Tesco bag and like put the roots in the Tesco bag, and then I put a second Tesco bag around it so that basically she could come pick it up and carry it or whatever. She came by. Archie was very happy to see Tim, vibrating literally like, please let me say hi to Tim. So Tim got to pet Archie. We both had our masks on and everything, but yeah, apparently their yard has like no plants in it still. They've been there for months, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, your whole thing was like you like gardening and planting plants and stuff. You didn't take any of your plants with you. You have no plants in your yard still, months and months later? So I was like, do you want a rosemary too? I've got a rosemary that you can have. I should have given her a catnip, but I'll just give that to her another time. But yeah, so I went and I've got 2 extra rosemaries that I had in pots that are just like cuttings from the other big bush. So she was like, yeah. So I went and I got the rosemary and put that in there too, and we had a little chit chat and stuff, and then before she came, made lunch. Tim just had pizza and chicken, and I had the bibimbap leftovers in the fridge. I took painkillers. Oh, and I actually had breakfast today too. I did have baked oatmeal this morning. I didn't fast all day. So yeah, and then after she left, I died. What did I do? I didn't do dishes. Dishes are still needing to be done. I literally just like took painkiller. Oh, I changed. We started laundry as well. Changed and started laundry while I was making lunch. So did all my laundry, and then made lunch, and then gave our ex-neighbor a tree and a bush. So now she has a random bird poop tree, which hypothetically the birds will be happy about if they plant that, because if they've got nothing in their yard, the bird's gonna be like, oh my god, we have something to actually land in and hang out on. Because her husband likes bird watching, so. But yeah, and then rosemary bush. Good for pests and stuff. But yeah, so I came upstairs and I had already changed, so at least I was in cleanish clothing, even if I wasn't clean. And I laid in bed, and I was like, I'm gonna turn off my alarms for the next couple hours. I assume I'm gonna wake up in like an hour and a half, you know? But I'll turn off my alarms so I can like naturally get up, and then I'll still have time. Like I still had a couple alarms, but my alarms weren't until like 5 p.m. I was like, I'll turn off my alarms, and then I can naturally get up, and I'll still have time, I'll have some food, and then I'll be ready for stream. And then 2 hours later, my alarm goes off, like, a little bit later, but, like, basically Kitty woke me up making horking noises, so I gave him the anti-horking treats, took him downstairs. He wanted to go outside, so I opened the door. He still had food on his plate. I went back upstairs because I was freezing cold, because I was just wearing, like, shorts and a shirt, basically. So I got dressed, and then my alarm went off, and it was like, okay, so that was 2 hours. But yeah, so haven't played WoW today. Haven't done anything but yard work, basically, and all of my joints hurt. But at least 2 of those jobs on the list were things that were procrastinated months and or years. So like the gutter thing is something that's been on the to-do list for like literally years. And the battery thing for the oil tank has been months and months on the to-do list. And then even like the tree, I was gonna get that tree last year from behind the shed, and I didn't. Probably because I didn't know where to plant it, but that's right. It was basically just like a tree nursery for the neighbor, ex-neighbor. But yeah, so I'm tired. I am lay tired and lay sore. I did have a nap, so I'm not like. It's not specifically sleepy, although I just yawned. I'm not specifically sleepy, I'm just like physically exhausted, you know? Oh yeah, and like my wrist, I feel like my right wrist I like tweaked when I was digging. So the plan is still to do more yard work tomorrow, when it's actually supposed to be sunny, but did manage to accomplish a lot, and at least a couple things that were like, have forever been on the to-do list, so good to get them done. Definitely a productive day, and the neighbor was very happy that she got a free tree and a free herb bush. So. My throat hurts. Yeah. But they're still, I call them ex-neighbor because they used to be an next-door neighbor. They're the only neighbor we really talk to in the whole neighborhood. generally. Where I come from, Tim, it's called a backyard. So I'm gonna keep calling it a yard. As I always have. But yeah, how's everybody else doing today? What's everybody else been up to? What am I gonna get up to? A lot of things on my like eventual to-do list for Mindcrack stuff is like stuff I need actual brain power for, and I do not have the brain power for. Maybe I'll just end up playing on the Federation. Oh yeah, laundry is done. I did not put my laundry away yet, though. Are you a backyard, Gold? Why? Who called you weird? Hello, Gold. No leg move. Blister? Oof. Oh, you have a front, side, and backyard? Man, I have all these really cool ideas in this thing. Too bad I don't know if I'll get any of them done. They do. I need to wander down to my farmyard. Oh, a neighbor's coming for my fleece. Oh, Tim was telling me about some place that's trying to like start like a business of doing like wool like blankets, like just wool like stuffing, I guess, for like duvets or whatever, and like wool pillows, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds great. What do you think? Should I fuck around on the Federation, or should I just like place a map platform on Minecraft or something? Place a map platform. I don't know how many what maps I have, or what platforms, what blocks I have. Lay directly on the sheep. Yeah, I'm sure that'll work. Raw fleece. Yeah. feel like my view distance is worse than it used to be. I should fuck around with my settings. I don't want to though. My brain is too tired. I don't have the energy for it. Wow. That was quite the jump. Oh yeah, there was one we actually planned ahead to be in a certain spot, right? Was it here? No, it's over there. Yeah. It's that color terracotta. Oh, or I could try doing one of the really annoying ones. I could try doing like one of the netherrack ones. That requires a lot of bone meal. Let me look at the spreadsheet. Did I mark off? Because what other color was it that we did? That one. What's that one? This one? So we did light gray terracotta. It's just the white terracotta that I was going to do next. So light gray terracotta, I can mark that as done. But the white terracotta... And warped nylium is closer to a color we don't have yet. Do I have any of it there? I got one. One warped nylium. And how much bone meal? I could go steal some more bone meal from Michael, maybe. Let's go see about stealing some bone meal. Oh, also, how is the basalt doing? Might be worth trying to make a more efficient version of this. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Something in this direction. I feel like I talked too much. My throat hurts. Ice is another thing I need. I know Michael said I could use this ice farm, but I don't actually know how or where I would do such a thing. Lapis's tower thingy's looking pretty cool. Also, I don't know if I'd want to do ice on stream because that would be really annoying. It's like one of the worst breaking sounds. I guess I could turn it down, but... I've never come at this farm from this side. Is it, yeah, here, I think? Hmm. Got a fair amount I can steal. I'll take 2. Yeah, maybe I'll take 3 and then I'll return some if I don't use it all, but I think I'm gonna need more than that. Alright. Yoink! Get yoinked. That's where that is. Okay. So I definitely don't want to go too far north over here as far as map platforms. Where do I want to do it? Do I want to do it up here in this corner? I want to do it down here, over here. I was thinking here. Yeah, we can do it over there. Alright. My inventory is fucked. Do that and then I can get those out when I need them. there. Meh. Oh, you know what I need? I need the map. That song needs to go away.
Good afternoon. Let's see what we have.
I should reset this because I think I have the settings to not be only. Here we go. Only in horizontal. Just needed space in my inventory so I can get some bone meal. Okay. So can't hold down. But also don't need to worry about crossing over to that because you have to click, so fuck my life. Nice, Val. Whoop. Might need to get my fork out. It's just so much easier than trying to use my wings in the water. No, no. Hello? I know I can do it. There we go. My brain just turned off. What was the... I don't know. Oh, it was because of the torch, that's why. You son of a bitch. not need that again for a while. Oh, torches. That was the thing I was thinking. I need to also put torches around here every once in a while. Yeah, I'll do it after I've done another row. I'm the only one on. I could just sleep the night away anyways. Should get someone to get me a swift sneak. There we go. I can put some torches down and they won't ruin my life when I'm trying to place blocks. I thought he made noises, but it was probably just something in the song. Break time. I'm gonna do this line and then I'll take my break. Guess I should keep any actual stuff that I accidentally grow so that I can compost it or something. It does also change the color, or that's just because of it's, yeah, it might be just because it's like a raised block kind of thing. Yeah. Gonna need a lot of bone meal. Nice, Val. There's a life can here. Alright, BRB. Michael in the chat. Good thing Michael didn't see me steal a bunch of bone blocks. How's it going, Michael? It's raining and he's trying to get footage, I guess, probably. I can't sleep because it's rain. Oh, I can sleep. Oh. Easy peasy. I did not. Just want to at least have like an outside ring done of this, and then I can keep placing blocks. Pretty nice today. I had all meal prepped meals today. So I had the blueberry baked oatmeal for breakfast, and then I had bibimbap for lunch, and then I had my not quite split pea soup for tray time. Easy peasy. I should try some of the pancakes that I froze to see if they're any good. Like frozen, or if I just ruined my life by freezing them. I think they'll be fine. Hello, Chris. guess I can do stuff like this once I fill in more blocks. Or I just do like a whole area at once. Ah, see, that's where the problem is. When I click like that, it's a problem. More so that it's just a waste of bone meal, like, because I could just use like a water bucket or something to remove it, but I guess then I'd have to replace all the torches. Neighbors are playing loud music. Trying to figure out which neighbors and what kind of music, but somebody's playing loud music. I can like feel it even though I couldn't hear it through my headphones. Like I could hear it but mostly feel it through my feet. Guess I could also visit Avidia's skeleton farm, see how much bone blocks are there. I guess the placing the blocks is actually the easier part in this one. I feel like my throat really hurts and my brain is really mush, but if anyone has something to chit-chat about, feel free. I'm just like... I should talk about something. I haven't watched any anime. I didn't play any WoW today. The videos that I listened to this morning were all videos I've already seen before. The local sports ball team, oh no. I did not... I'm a little terrified That sounds like murder for my wrists. Also, I'm awful at anything requiring actual competition. Oh, fuck. I'll probably do it, but I haven't signed up yet. Oh, you know what? I'll put all the extra shit that I pick up in there. The only thing on your mind right now is how big this cave is. I mean, you did sign up for that. That's literally what you want. I'm glad you found one, though. You got more than you bargained for. I'm sure if you need someone to help you light up, or at least supply some torches or something, airdrop you some torches, I'm sure that can be arranged. Alright, well, see you, Kev. Yeah, I just mean, like, if you need, like, someone to bring you more torches or something, because you're, like, running out. We'll see. If you weren't gonna build anything in it, it just would have just stayed a cave, or been, like, destroyed by someone going through and digging for diamonds or something. So no matter what you do, it'll be an improvement. Ooh, nice, nice. I'll take a look at those. I did post a picture of some of the stuff I got in the Tesco order today. There's a bunch of stuff for Ramadan that's on offer. So I picked up a big old 10-kilo bag of basmati rice and picked up some more lentils and a big thing of sunflower oil. Probably not even going to open the rice or anything anytime soon, because I've got like 3 other different containers of rice, but I think the bag says it's good till like 2029 or something, so 2027? I don't know. It's years away. Years or a year. Honestly, you should have got more than one, but for the price it was pretty good. Look at those pictures. Wow. That's pretty wild. Ooh, and you got deep dark too? That's actually really cool from underneath like that. It looks like one of those like 90s screensavers with the tubes and the pipes. I'm not sure when the Instant Pot actually comes. I'm not sure what I'm actually going to use, like what the first meal I'm going to make is, or what the first thing I'm going to make in it is. definitely have to read the instruction manual and look at like the cost of using it and stuff before I do anything. Do some calculations. I wouldn't mind doing the yogurt thing, but I don't know if it's worth the cost of running it or not. Could try like the bread proofing thing maybe. That might be something I'd try. Or I could just get like a tougher cut of meat and do like a roast type thing in there. I have a couple other things coming. I've got like the monthly order with some cat food and stuff. But I've also got like, I got a thing of citric acid for cleaning and baking. I was thinking because I've got like my thermos mug cup thing that my mom got me. I really like it, but there's stuff sticking to the inside of the bottom like real bad. And I think it's just because of the hard water. So I keep thinking I should try like a descaler on it, but I don't want to pay for like tiny pouches of descaler. So it's like, oh, I'll just try some citric acid. And then I can also make like some sour candies or something, or, you know, like I can use it to make other stuff. I'm gonna use a pressure cooker for stuff that would be in a slow cooker. But yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. I was thinking like trying like a tougher cut of meat and then being able to get it like much softer but with like a shorter time period. The thing with the bread is what I was saying is that the house is so cold that even if I try to make bread, it like never proofs. But I've seen people say they use their pressure cooker on like the yogurt setting or whatever, just as like a warm place to proof dough. So that sounds like fun too. Could also try it for like the rice setting, or like because I've got a bunch of like dried beans that some of it I'm like I don't want to like leave it like simmering on the oven for like an hour or whatever to cook. So it's like I could try some of those. I don't know. Yeah, I'm bad at bread. I want to be better at bread. Not doing too bad on the torch situation. I guess I could sleep, but... What did Steph post a screenshot of? What is that? Zucchini, tomato, beans, purple onion, peppers? Maybe? I'm pretty satisfied with the soup I made yesterday. Yesterday? Was it really yesterday? Keep warm function that might do something like that. Oh, the oven or the, like, pressure cooker? If I don't have a warm room, I'll usually run the shower on full hot for a few minutes and put the dough in there. Yeah. Basically turn on some kind of electric thing to make heat, I guess. Pressure cooker, yeah. That's what I mean though, I've never used one. So I just need to fucking use it. I just need to like read the book and stuff, but I just don't know what it is that I'm gonna try first. Yeah, part of the one of the bad things about watching like YouTube shorts about people cooking and stuff is I end up watching a bunch of people that have like ridiculous tech and I'm like, ooh, that's cool, what's that? There's one person I watched that has like a fridge-sized freezer, like a whole standing freezer that's fridge-sized. And they also have like a dehydrator. They've got a mixer that's just for mixing dough. They've got like one of those vacuum sealer things that like sucks the air out of stuff, and they just like vacuum seal all their freezer stuff. They've got like all the different like silicone molds for freezing stuff, and yeah, it's hard when I'm just trying to use what I have, and also we only have like a tiny fridge with a tiny freezer. Yeah, Shaitan, yeah. I mean, I had some of those things. I had like a half chest freezer, and I had like a I had a food processor and stuff like that, but I don't have that anymore. I keep thinking of getting a food processor, but then I'm like, I see all these recipes that use them, but like I haven't made those recipes, so I was very tempted during the most recent I was very tempted during the most recent sale. Huh, well, to get a what's the word? To get a I've lost my train of thought. If I ride on that guy, well, no, I need to like do I need a saddle for this guy to stay around? Oh no, that's what I need. I need fish. I need fish. I don't know if I have any fish. During the most recent sale, I was tempted to get like a little food processor. I saw at least one that was like, it can also like do dough and stuff, and it's like, okay, but like depending on how small that is, it doesn't, you know, like, or I've also considered getting like one of those like herb grinder kind of things too. I don't know, a lot of like similar type things, and it's like, well, I don't specifically have a need for it right now, so I'm just not gonna. Sir, can you not try and drown yourself so I can get past you? You know what? Ooh. There you go. You stay over there. No puffer fish. Not that worried about it. If we had it, I would do it, but I don't think we're even near any warm enough ocean for that. Yeah. But yeah, I know some of those things aren't that fancy, and it's obviously just, you know, an accumulation of stuff, but it's an accumulation of stuff I don't have. So I watch these videos and I'm like, oh, that makes me want to buy those things. That's the dangerous part. It's like, oh, I should buy a food processor and a mixer specifically just for mixing dough, and also look into how to make sourdough, but then I have to actually feed it, and then I have to actually have enough flour to feed it, and that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just like, oh, I want to do all this stuff, I want to cook all this stuff, and then I'm like, okay, but I only have this much space in the freezer. So, if it's something I'm planning on freezing, I need to actually have space for it. So I keep trying to like use stuff up from the freezer, but then as soon as I make space, I use it, you know? Like I froze that banana bread loaf to try doing that, and I froze those pancakes, you know? Which hypothetically, hopefully, is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. But for now, it's taking up space. And I haven't tested them yet. Tested them yet. Is the guy already gone anyways? Probably. Oh no, he's right there. What I should do is I should use one of the new notebooks I got to actually write down like notes and recipes and stuff. Oh, it's another thing I've seen people use in videos, and then I'm like, oh, is like pasta rolling machines and stuff. And that's, I think, you mentioned KitchenAid. I know that's one of those things you can get like an attachment for some machines. We don't have a KitchenAid. I don't even know what the brand is of the mixer we have, but I barely even use the mixer we have, and it's not great. We also have a blender that I never use because it's like just never the right machine for the job. It's like a little too big, or like a little not strong enough, or a little too, you know, I don't know. I'm always just trying to like, I've only really ever tried to use it for like smoothies. I guess I could just take that out and try and use that for some kind of, you know, like try and use that as like a, at least for like making sauces or something like that. Like, not a food processor, but a food chopper and musher upper. We have an immersion blender, and that I use a lot, actually, comparatively. And I have also thought, like, well, what if I just put stuff in the thing, and then it's kind of like a, similarly, yeah, I could make like sauces or something like that, just mush it in there, but. Gold. This is kind of like villain levels of, I'm gonna cover the entire ocean. Yeah, true. Yeah, I want to try making some homemade pasta again. That's, I think that's one of those things. I just need to get better at like actually, like I feel like I've done a pretty good job of like making the dough before. It's just that like I don't roll it like thin enough or like cut it small enough, so it just ends up really puffy and like not quite the right texture that I want. Yeah, that's the thing, like, that's also the thing. I think about, like, buying certain machines, and I'm just like, that just sounds like a lot of cleaning and a lot of frustration. But that's the same thing, like, I guess that, like, with the kind of, like, you know, meal prepping ahead stuff that I've been doing, that makes more sense to me, that it's like, oh, okay, so if I'm only making, like, 2 or 3 things like once a week that are messy, but then I have like that yumminess for like days or weeks, then it makes more sense. Instead of just being like, oh, okay, I'm going to use like 15 different, machines to make one meal and then have to do like 1,000 dishes. That sounds awful. I would still like to get some more of those like silicone freezer mold kind of stuff. I don't know, I don't need them. There's some things I could freeze in like other containers that I already have that would work. But they do seem very convenient and fun to use. Especially for, more of the like leftover type stuff where it's like, oh, okay, I made too much rice and I'm just going to freeze these in these little containers. And then when I store them in the freezer after I take them out of those containers, they're in a like nice size that is easier to like stack and like put in a bag or something. I have a silicone freezer mold thing, but it's like a cube, not like a slab or slice or whatever, like most of the ones you see. And the cubes are just not great for freezer space. They're a lot harder to finagle. I was almost block placing the music there for a sec. Kitty sleep chirps. I do need to check some of the dates on some of the flour and stuff I have in the kitchen too. Because I'd like to get some more flour, but obviously I need to use up what I have, or at least check the dates, like I say. I was tempted to buy some like chapati. I don't know if how you say it, but chapati flour dough stuff because it was on offer for the Ramadan stuff, but it was comparably priced to like the cheapest flour anyways. So it was like, well, I mean, it might be better, I don't know, but like the cheapest flour works for me as it is. So there are some other like fancier flours I wouldn't mind trying mixing in if I actually like started making, like pasta or bread on a regular basis. I've never tried it, but I would like to try making like wraps and stuff, I've tried making flatbread before, at least once. But I don't think I've ever tried making like wraps. I also saw... I don't know what stomp is. I also saw there's a recipe. One of the recipes on my like to make list is like basically instead of making cinnamon buns, just making like cinnamon donut hole like kind of things basically. I want to try that. That looks yummy. Fennel, honey, and anise. Those are flavors I do like. Played with making gluten-free oat wraps. They tasted good but did not fold well. Yeah. That's another thing too that I want to do. I want to get like some of the like cheap oats and just blend it, a bunch of it, into dough or into flour, and try using some of that to make some kind of bread of some kind. Because there's one recipe I use to make a certain kind of banana muffin kind of thing, and I do really enjoy it with the oat flour. So I'd like trying like a bread recipe that has a bit of oat flour in it. Maybe not wholly oat flour to start, but I don't know. It's yummy, yummy. Gonna need more torches. That's the thing too, yeah, like, I've been avoiding gluten for Tim for the most part. So anything I make for him is like gluten-free. But the gluten-free flour is a lot more expensive. I don't even know what it is. I should probably check and see what it is. Flute and Gree, yep. I watch a real variety of like content creators, especially when it comes to food. So I've got like some people from different cultures, and some people from different like dietary restrictions, and some people from different like skill levels, and I've got at least one that's, or like more than one actually, I think, that are doing like a no food waste kind of thing, and like people that are trying to like use up old pantry stuff to make weird stuff, and I've got at least one that's like dealing with their own, trying to be like trying to have a better like relationship with food, you know. A couple of people that are like, I have ADHD and this is the kind of food I make to be able to deal with, you know, not remembering to eat and stuff. And at least a couple bodybuilders that are like, oh, this is what I eat, and a couple vegans that are like, oh, this is what I eat. Like, so it's just like such a wide variety of like recipes and outlooks and inspiration and stuff. Yeah, I do. I have on the Tesco website, there's like, you can save a list of like stuff you're looking at, and one of the things I'm looking at was the xanthan. I don't know if it's an M or an N at the end there, but the xanthan gum stuff, that's in my like saved for later list, because I was like, Gluten, one less than glut 11. Oh, is it xanthan? In my brain, it's an M. Maybe it's just the way it sounds to me. That's the thing too, like that's part of like some of the things I struggle with when Tim will tell me a word, or like I learn a word from Tim. I won't know how to spell it because I don't understand how like the sounds to how they're spelled don't make sense. Ground oats and brown rice flour have been some of the best tasting and no gritty texture. Ooh. That sounds good to me. And it's not like particularly that I'm avoiding gluten, but like if I can find like a really good recipe, and especially like like I said, I've been really enjoying when I use oat flour. It just is yummy to me. But if I can find a good recipe that works for me and works for Tim, that'd be really ideal. Rice flour. I'll have to look and see. Oh, there's a Kev. Hello? I can't hear you. I will be right back. Hello.
And
Oh,
what
there you
about
are.
now?
Now I can hear
Hey,
you.
here I am. I came flying in here quick as a little butterfly going, torch delivery.
Oh, yeah, no, I couldn't
So
hear
you
you.
got 4 stacks of coal and
Oh
4 stacks of
no.
stick at your disposal.
Oh
Enjoy
no.
yourself.
Thank you.
Should you keep you pretty busy?
I need space. All right, there we go. Nice,
Well,
nice, nice,
that
nice.
constitutes 2 limits here. Right? So that's 16 stacks, right? The total.
That's not how you make a torch. There you go. Tried to do it on an angle, be fancy.
Yeah, yeah, I just saw it on the stream, right? Yeah, it should be about 16 stacks. Good. Yeah,
Nice,
then
nice,
you're
nice,
stacked.
nice. If you want to chat, we can jump in a call. It's just my throat was hurting, so I was like, I'm just gonna place blocks.
No. I mean, I'm not here to be busy or anything like that. I'm still working on other things, but if you want to chit chat, I mean, I can pop into a voice here. It's fine.
You think of a good name for a voice call then.
All right.
Ow, 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 ow. Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, hey,
So what was this stomp? Tell me more about stomp.
So stomp bread is more like a traditional Scandinavian, like pan bread. That, like I said, you fry it in a pan. It is a soft bread, like a thin soft
focaccia or
bread, similar
something?
to a wrap.
Oh,
no,
more like a
it's
wrap. Okay.
Yeah, it's very much like a wrap, right? And I was lucky and brought up with a grandma who cooked these not on like a frying pan, but like a larger, like heat stone. So you would have a soft bread of the size of, we're talking like, to think measurement wise, because you don't do centimeters, do you?
I do sometimes. I do both.
All right, so let's
I'm a
say
mix and match.
the average like diameter about half a meter.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
That type
pretty
of
big.
like, so that's the size of a soft bread baking.
Right. How big? What
And
was she
then,
cooking this on exactly?
No, just like a heat stone. So
Oh. I don't know what that means.
yeah, no way. It's technically like a table that is completely heated across.
Ah, okay.
So then you bake it out on one of those, and then you put it into like similar to a pizza oven technically, and bake it for just briefly both sides, and then you pack it up in bags and stuff. And I was a kid. I was lucky enough to sometimes get to eat them fully, like one of those full breads, just covered up with butter, cheese, wrap it up, and then you would sit there with like a 3-foot long wrap, and just enjoy yourself. And the actual seasoning was, of course, fennel, anise, and like typical bread spice, very very much so. Like, and sometimes during Christmas there is a traditional version of that type of bread that is also baked with potato, which gives it a bit more, an interesting like side flavor. One of my favorite breads of all time, actually. So when I heard you, because I just popped on the stream to see what you guys were doing, and then I'm like, oh, she's talking about bread. I'm gonna join this conversation.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about buying like a couple different things, but like I've been thinking about buying like a pressure cooker or an Instant Pot for a long time, and I bought one on the recent sale, so it hasn't arrived yet. But I was discussing possible things I could do with it as like the first thing I do, and one of the things I was talking about was proofing bread, because our house is always cold, so it's like So we were also talking about like alternative ways. Apparently some people proof their bread by like running their shower really hot and then like putting the bread in the bathroom to proof, or like just turning the oven on and like turning it down and then proofing your bread in there and stuff. And I was just saying, like, if I try to make bread now,
what
it just
storage duration are we talking for this bread that you're proofing?
the problem is just the temperature. Like, it's just you're trying to proof the bread, trying to get it to like rise or whatever, right? And it's like, our house is usually like 10 degrees, so it doesn't really proof bread good.
Oh, okay, yeah, you mean that type of, like, you're talking like hard bread, right?
Yeah, just any, like a lot of bread recipes, like buns and stuff like that, loaves, where it just, you try to, you need to like let it rest and rise between, and then like you squish it and then you let it rise again or whatever. But yeah, if I try to do that, it's just like, or I guess yeast, a lot of yeasted breads that call for that
Yeah.
specifically. But yeah, it's like if you try and do that in a cold house, it's like, yeah, that's nice.
Oh,
No,
no. Yeah.
I'm not gonna rise.
The only tip I can give to people is if you have the oven on, to like have it sit by one of those like depending on what type of ovens you have, like because in Sweden like a regular stove is oven, heat plates, and then at the back of the heat plates there's usually a section where there's like excess heat from the oven always seeping out of it, so it does bring up the overall room temperature just on top of the stove itself by a little bit. At least the more classical older ones, but I mean depends on if you want to increase your electricity bill, if you can do that.
That's the thing. That's why it's like I just haven't tried making bread, because it's like, well, like if I have to, the thing I've tried before is the closet where the hot water tank is. I've tried putting stuff in there, but it's not, like that's, even if you run obviously if you run the hot water, like if it's doing its job, it's not going to be putting off that much heat,
And I was about to say, because
But it's like, well, it's
since
like
we
the
live
warmest
in-
place in the house.
yeah, I mean, I get that. We live in an apartment that's relatively warm, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's rare that Swedish houses on average go down below. Well, I mean, I guess it would go down to below a good temperature for the yeast to really go about it. But what I always do, regardless of what I do when I bake, is I make sure to have like a proper warm water in the actual dough itself. And I bring it up to a rising temperature technically before I like mix it into the mix, and then that usually suffices.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's
But I can
basically,
imagine if the room was cold, right,
Yeah,
it would be a bit
it's
counterintuitive.
it's one of those situations where I could have fucked up many ways. I don't know which way, but like I've had experiences in the past where I've tried to make bread and it hasn't worked, and then so just for years I just haven't even bothered trying. But it's like, well, this is another thing I can eliminate. This is another thing I can try, because, like I say, with the pressure cookers and stuff, it's like, oh, you've got like a setting where you can just like, I've read places where people are like, oh, I just like put the dough in there to proof it because it keeps it warm or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, I could try that.
Yeah, I mean, there are machines for some of those things. So
Well, I mean, obviously it's not a machine for it, but it would work for it. And it's like, well, may as well. If I have it, may as well try that. Or I can just try the oven or whatever else.
you'll figure something out, or something will burn out. I mean, at the end of the day, there'll be a fun spectacle.
We're
like
also talking about like
watching dough race.
alternative flours and stuff like that. And all those other things.
Yeah, I don't know about alternative flours.
Yeah, that's the thing,
I
right?
mean,
Everything is
knowing
another.
that you live in the part of the world where fast processing of everything is the go-to standard, right? It's just-
Well, I mean, like even like for like oat flour, I would literally just get a bag of oats and put it in a blender. But yeah. I have done that. I have done that.
That's
for,
commitment.
Like a banana bread. There's a banana muffin recipe I follow, and whenever I do it, it calls for oat flour, and it's like, oh, and you need to put this in a blender, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that every time. Now I gotta get the blender out.
Yeah.
Every time I forget.
I mean, maybe mixes the dough better, or the batter for it.
I don't know. It's yummy. I like the flavor.
I was about to say, because banana bread, that's more batter than dough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really a bread, but like I like the flavor of the flour is where I was going with
It's
that
like
one.
if you manage to do a dough when you're trying to make pancakes, you fucked up somewhere properly.
I did fuck up pancakes the other week, but it's because the that's the thing. It's another one of those things where I've never been good at. I think I've failed pancakes more times than I've succeeded at them, right? So, but every time I fail, I just don't try again for a while because I'm, frustrated or annoyed or I've wasted money and I'm just like, whatever, fuck it. But the thing that annoyed me about the most recent time I failed is because it's one of those recipes where I've tried a couple times and I have had mild success with it, but I feel like every time I tried it, I got worse at it, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized that the recipe actually calls for self-raising flour, and I was just using plain flour. And it's like, why do you also add baking powder in if it's already self-raising flour? Like, that's what I think confused my brain, because I'm like, well, it's got baking powder in it, so obviously it needs to just be plain flour, not self-raising, because why would you add baking powder if it's self-raising? Also, self-raising doesn't make sense because it's not the flour that raises, it's the baking powder that's in the flour, but okay.
Sometimes when I make homemade pizza, I absolutely am guilty of mixing both yeast and baking soda. Because I don't want them to rest for long enough, and I like the extra taste flavor that you get out of the yeast dough, right? So it's more like a quick method, and they become really fat in oven.
Yeah, it's just one of those, you know, it's just,
pizza deluxe.
I think it's just one of those things where it's like, obviously, if you fucking read the instructions, then yeah. But it's like, you know, I've done the recipe a couple times, and I'm doing it on my phone, and it's one of those websites with 1,000 ads that like scroll on top of the thing you're reading, and you're like, yeah, it's you know, it's just like, you know, ADHD nightmare where you're like, I'm trying to like do this recipe, you know, so it's like, okay, fair, you know. Obviously, the next time I tried it, I actually, because I didn't even own self-raising flour, I only had plain flour. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy a bag of self-raising flour, try the recipe again. Wow, it works! You know? So it's like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of having to invest extra just to make dough.
I mean, it was ADP. I think I'll survive, but... You know, it's you know, yeah. The other option, as I said as well in Discord, was like, well, okay, I could just add more baking powder, and it would also fix the problem.
Well, technically yes, but preferably never.
Yeah, but I mean that's how it works. It's like that's what's in the flour.
Because that's a taste experience.
Yeah, but I mean like that's what the recipe is. It's like, okay, self-raising flour just has the raising agent in the flour already. So it's like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So if I do plain flour with more self-raising agent, then it'll puff up, right? Basically, the when I screwed them up, when I used the wrong flour, they were basically crepes. So I had like crepes with like blueberry pimples sticking out, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, that's not, this is not.
Imagery.
Well, because it was blueberry pancakes, so I make it and I pour it, and I'm like, this is basically water. This is just a skinny little flat pancake with like the blueberries sticking out, you know. They're still edible.
Pancake latte.
Yeah, it didn't taste bad, but it was like, this is not how this is supposed to go.
No, I could attest to that by just hearing those.
Right?
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right.
But then I made them again, and then they came out like fluffy and picturesque, and I'm like, okay. And then I froze them because that was the plan.
As long as they come up fluffy and picturesque, that's all we want. All we care for.
Well, and then I got a big freezer bag, and I put them like with parchment paper between, and I made them big enough that they're like toaster sized, so that I can just take out like 2 pancakes, chuck them in the toaster, and then go yum 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 yum.
I mean, that's nice. That's
nice.
Right? We're talking American pancakes now, anyway.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I think the recipe is funny because I think the recipe's on like BBC or something, but the recipe is like American pancakes. Yeah.
Because when we say pancakes in Sweden, of course, we refer to the crepes more than anything.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah, like, yeah, I know there's different kinds. There's different kinds of pancakes here too. And then you get those like really, really thick, you know, like souffle pancakes. Those are a whole other thing.
The Japanese pancake. Oh my god, I'm willing to die for a couple of those every once in a while. I managed to mix batter for them a couple of times, but it's just the actual frying is a pain in the living arse.
Yeah, no,
because you have to be so gentle about it. Like, that's the big idea. Is that you gotta fold it, and then you whip up like a meringue from the egg whites, and then that's gonna be bent down. Like you're gonna just like softly, gently weave it into the mix, and that works most of the time. And then I always have way too much heat when I'm stuff.
Yeah, that's another one of those things where like I feel like that's probably where a lot of my problems come when I try to make pancakes, because
you're excited.
No, because you know, like especially a lot of recipes, they just say like, oh, just turn it on medium and leave it for this long. Yep. And I'm like, okay, but what does that mean? You know, and then it's like, oh, just use butter or oil. And I'm like, okay, but what if I use this? You know, and they all behave differently. You know, so
that's very fair.
Basically you have to do all the extra. It's one of those things where they don't tell you and this is obvious, obviously, but they don't tell you, you're gonna fuck it up. You gotta make it a couple times. You'll figure it out. You need to just work out the kinks. But like when I read a recipe and follow a recipe, I expect it to fucking work because that's the point of following a recipe. It's like if I wanted to figure it out, then I would just do it myself. So then
that's where I think the souffle pancake is one of the examples of one specific, very specific food that doesn't follow the overall rule of recipe. Because most recipes, as you say, you could probably just look at the recipe and go, yeah, I can figure this out. I'll mix something up and then it's going to come out on the other side and be fine. But that particular, I mean, I guess there are a couple of things that you can fuck up. Mostly they're confectionery bakery stuff. But yeah, I stay away from that for reasons. 99% of the stuff that I bake is bread. It's nothing else but bread.
No, I'm pretty satisfied because I've made the pancakes like twice or whatever since I tried the actual proper flour, and I'm satisfied enough that I'm like, oh, okay, as long as I... Similarly, like another one of the problems I run into is a lot of my recipes that I'm trying to follow are Canadian or American, and I have to spend half of my fucking time being like, okay, so what is that in like grams? What is that in like what is that in like Celsius in a fan oven? Like what is that if I'm so sometimes I get lazy and I'm like, it's probably 200 degrees, right?
I mean, you don't wait. Are you telling me that you don't bake with your heart, Fed? You don't just...
I do, but that's where my problems lie, is I try, sometimes I just fucking YOLO. I'm like, whatever, it's probably this. And then I'm like, maybe not, though, actually. Like, there's a banana bread recipe that I've been following my whole life, literally. Like, I used to make this at home. This is my mom's recipe. I don't know what book she got it out of or whatever, but, like, you know, I don't remember it, but, you know, I'm like, you know, I've been doing this recipe forever, and then when I make it here, I'm just like, it's probably this temperature, you know, and then I'll like Google it and it'll say this temperature, and I'm like, well, but our oven's not great and the seal isn't great, so maybe I'll just turn it up a little bit more, and then it comes out like overcooked, and I'm like, maybe I should. So the most recent time I made it, I actually was like, okay, this is the temperature it says on the internet for a fan oven at this temperature. I'll set it to that temperature, and it was great. And I'm like, oh, I guess I should just. But that's what I mean, like, because I look it up, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right, you know, like. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna do it at this temperature, and then you cook it, and then you're like, oh, it's almost done, and it's like that doesn't look right, you know, and then you have to turn it up at the end, anyways, you know. So it's like, I don't know. Like,
well, I do prefer doing the late burn. That's always a breakaway. You do pizza, or whatever. You're like, it's been in there for a while now. Yeah. Let's just turn on the fan.
Yeah, just turn it on.
Let's just turn on the fan and see what happens. Yeah. Scorch it, and then you forget about it. Or like I did the other day, the classic when you know the timer, you put on the timer, you like everything is set up, you go, okay, the pizza's going to be in the oven for 15 minutes, I'm going to go and do this, come back 34 minutes later, notice that the timer is not turned on and it smells really weird in the kitchen.
I've done that. Or you have like so many timers on your phone that your timer goes off and you swipe it because you just think it's like, oh, that's my 1 o'clock alarm or something, and then you're like, right. No, that was the food. I should change the sound of my timer.
We have a timer by the actual.
I just use my phone because then I can set like 5 timers. But
that's the thing. I have like 50 alarms on my phone.
Yeah, me too.
Every day of the week is a different day that I need to pick up a different person at a different time. So it's like, for that reason alone, always clock.
I do need. I'm gonna put this on my to-do list to like actually change my alarm, my timer. Change timer sound? Question mark. There you go. I'll do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I don't have the brain power today.
Change it tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's in my to-do list, so you know.
Tomorrow, another day.
Well, I was very productive today. I'm allowed tomorrows.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I'm not heckling you. I'm leaning into it myself. Very well aware of the tomorrow that never comes.
No, I mean, I did a bunch of stuff today that were on those tomorrow to-do lists that never came.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's great. It's always good to pick up a couple of stray tomorrows.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like one of them was like a gutter end cap that needed like silicone because it was like not actually doing its job. And it's like, it's been going for like 3 or 4 years. It's not at the end of the world, but like, you know, I can fix
but it's a
it.
gutter.
So I did.
Uh-huh.
But it's one of those things where it's like up until recently, it's like using the like kind of silicone, you know, caulk or whatever. It's like scary, you know? But then I used it and I'm like, oh, it's not scary. You know?
Dave, I am reading chat and I see that you're saying it's an air fry oven. I would never do a pizza in an air fry oven. Ever.
Oh, when the
my
timer's on, it
Italian
turns itself
crust in
off?
an air fry oven. No, not happening. Never.
Hey, what is it? Oh yeah, because I've been doing a thing where I try to like meal prep like once a week at least, and I try to prep like a bunch of, at least the last couple of weeks, I try to prep like at least one meal, like at least one lunch meal, at least one breakfast meal, and then like some kind of snacks and desserts. So
That's good. I mean, it keeps the bacon going.
well, it also makes it so that, like, because I also make, like, separate meals for the other person that lives in the house, because he has different, like, dietary needs. So it means that I don't have to cook 2 meals every day. I just have to cook 1 meal, and then, like, my meals are already done.
I mean, that's efficient.
Yeah, and then so, like, yesterday, that's what I did, is I made 2 pans of baked blueberry oatmeal, and then I made the pancakes. I made like a double batch of pancakes and froze like almost all of them. And then I made...
Sounds nice.
I ended up making like it was supposed to be like a kitchen sink kind of soup. I just took like stuff I had in the fridge that needed using and stuff I had in the pantry and just like a bunch of stuff went, that sounds like that'll be yummy. And I made it into a soup and it basically ended up tasting like split pea soup. And I'm like, oh well, that's good.
Well, I mean, that's
fine by me.
Cool.
It was like a low effort.
Personally,
It was like a split pea soup, but I didn't have to follow a recipe. And I'm like, awesome.
There's the wording kitchen sink soup to me. There's not. It doesn't ick a good taste.
No. Yeah, what was it? Because I had the stem of a broccoli. Because sometimes I'll save the stem for like doing soups and stuff. And then celery, potatoes, cabbage. What other veg did I put in? Oh, yeah, I already say potatoes. Onions. I did pearl barley. I did some split peas. I used some of the chicken stock from the freezer that I made from scratch. What else was in there? There was more in there. Oh, carrots. Carrots for sure. And then, like, the thing that made it taste like split pea soup was the split peas, which there wasn't that many of. And then I put some cooking bacon. So it's like the cheap whatever bacon, and just like I had like a little handful of that, and I cooked that down with the onions at the start. And then I just added all the veg.
Nice.
Yeah, it was it's just very yummy. And then I just used a little immersion blender to kind of blitz like half of it, so it was like half chunky and half smooth kind of soup. So
a bit rustic.
yeah, well, everything I make is that rustic. But yeah,
It's a way of life, right?
yeah. So basically, just ended up with like a week's worth of soup and baked oatmeals, and I've got the pancakes, and then what was the other thing I made? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, the other week I made banana bread, and then I sliced one of the loaves and I froze it with parchment paper between the slices, so I could just take like a slice out of the freezer instead of having to thaw the entire loaf, you know? Because some people say, like, whenever I make banana bread, I always make 2 loaves, and one of them always goes moldy because I just don't get to it in time. So I ate one of the loaves. Well, it was not frozen, but now I have a frozen loaf that I can eat as well.
I forget about the fact that you're very much like sweet bread is a thing over there, isn't it?
Well, no, that was part of the thing. That's the like dessert portion of the things I made. So I made banana bread. I made what did I make last week? I don't remember. I made rice and corn and sausages because I had some sausages that needed using up. What was the third meal? Well, something else I made.
Some sort of edible, perhaps?
I mean, they were all edible, but not that kind of edible.
I mean, what would I know? I am but a Swedish man. With a very slim
Oh,
Swedish
no, that's what it was. I
repertoire.
made, I've been really enjoying like rice, just enjoying like rice. I'm doing like a mixed rice of like 2 or 3 different kinds. So I made
What? Really?
yeah. So
Would
then
you do like jasmine and basmati and stuff together?
like a long grain, a short grain, and a brown rice, or a brown rice and a white rice and a lentil, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that work out? No, I guess you do probably get a lot of different.
Yeah,
like,
this is like
chewiness.
yeah, but like I mean, someone who actually knows anything about cooking might be aghast, but for me, I'm like, ooh, yummy. So.
Hey, don't ask me. I very much still sometimes do the student dormitory, like, oh, what's in the refrigerator? Let's just take all of that in a bowl and figure out if we can eat it.
Yeah, well, and yeah. So that was the third thing I made was I did a mix of rices, and then I did avocado, and I did the like that like imitation crab fish stick kind of thing.
Yeah, the shorimi.
Whatever you want to call it. I don't know what do you call it.
That's what they're called here.
Yeah,
Surimi sticks.
yeah. So basically that, and then avocado, and then rice, and then when I served it, I would warm up the rice, but not the toppings, and then just make a wasabi and soy sauce mix, and then cut up little squares of the
Stop,
seaweed.
You're making me hungry.
And then use the little squares of seaweed and just scoop a little bowl of the rice and avocado and the fish and everything, and yum.
Sorry for making weird noises, but that sounds actually delish.
Yeah, just basically just trying to make like, cause same thing like one of the other meals I had this week was I didn't want to make like proper bibimbap, but I wanted the bibimbap flavor, so I just made like a lazy version. And it's just like
I yet to this very day have not tried to prepare bibimbap. Should probably do that.
It's pretty yummy, or at least the versions I make are pretty yummy.
We do have a restaurant nearby that makes them, right? But I'm like, I've never actually tried making one myself.
I use a lot of like UK recipe ingredients kind of stuff. So like instead of using pickled daikon or something, I'll just use
Marmite.
dill pickles. I'll just use dill pickles, gherkins. What was the other thing that I replace? Yeah, but like, because like for like when I make it, a lot of the time it's like spinach. I didn't use spinach this time, but like spinach, cucumber, dill pickles, mushrooms, onions, fried egg, rice, and then I just got like the gochujang paste. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I put on there. Oh, carrots, and sesame oil and sesame seeds. So it's all like
Sounds
mostly
like
easy ingredients. Nothing ridiculous.
Yeah, those are much better than ketchup with banana.
I just more mean like it's not like I don't get like burdock root or like pickled daikon or like any like fancy like.
I mean, it still
imported
sounds fairly
stuff.
Fancy if you ask another one, right?
Yeah, it depends. Doesn't mean for me these are not imported ingredients, and a lot of them are relatively cheap ingredients.
Well, that's nice to have them combine that way.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to fill up that roster of a repertoire of food.
Yeah, just another flavor, and especially because like I lived in Korea, and I lived in the home of bibimbap, so it's like
many
a
years?
flavor. It was only like 4 months or something, but it was
4 months she was overtaken by the Korea.
Yeah, I was living in Jeonju, which is known for dolsot bibimbap. And
Very interesting, Phedran.
very yummy. But then you come home and you're like, oh man, I want kimbap, but I don't want to actually make it. So I guess I'm gonna make a bowl with the kimbap ingredients in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much experience from going abroad except going to Tokyo. Otherwise, we've had a very slim travel distance across my upbringing. So the opportunity to try out cool, interesting food in different places is not really being a high-end feature of my roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the thing for me, which I did not take advantage of at the time, was where I grew up just is a lot more culturally diverse with food than I understood. It's like, this is how everywhere is, right? And then I come here and I'm like, there's literally
it's not how
nothing.
everywhere is.
There's literally like I know that there's like a huge portion of like like Polish people, for example, and it's like they don't even sell like a lot of stores don't even like have pierogies like labeled as pierogies. They just labeled them as dumplings, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
No.
This is you have a huge contingent of like Polish people living here, and you don't even. I can't even search for pierogies. I gotta search for dumplings. What do you mean? Whereas like where I grew up, it's like, you know, you got like Chinese food, Japanese food, Indian food. You've got like Thai food. You've got everything. Like everything is available, and everything is like just everywhere.
Sounds very nice.
Yeah. I never tried a lot of it back then, though, because it was like, you know, just very picky.
Then again, well, I know what that's like.
Exactly what I
being
meant.
the picky kid in the family.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Taste-wise.
Yeah.
Right.
If I could just have like
I didn't eat
rice
chocolate until I
and
was 15.
oh, yeah, I didn't have jam until I was like graduating high school.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have a hamburger until I was like 6th grade, which I don't know what the equivalent is in age, but.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And even like hot dogs, I still only have plain with just a bun or nothing.
Well,
you know,
hot dogs and
there's still some things that.
hot dogs and spaghetti. That's the favorite combo, quick food I eat in mass over a week.
I don't know, just there's some things that I'm still like picky about, and there's some things that I'm a lot more open to trying now. Like even the soup I made yesterday, I feel like there's a lot of my life where I would have just been like, yeah, hell no, I'm not eating that. Too many weird textures, too many unidentified things. It's got onions in it. Gross.
But if you were to look at like where you are taste-wise today, like what's the clear no flavor in your repertoire?
Oh, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot.
Okay, so but one distinct, very like this is the anti-Fed, right? Just so I know for the future.
It's a good question.
Think about it.
I mean, like
we
tomato sauce, pretty much. Other than pizza, I don't eat that. Yeah.
The heck? Okay, I mean, I'm not going to judge, but I'm
You are gonna judge a little bit.
I'm absolutely.
I mean,
gonna
maybe
judge.
I should try it, but like, I think like when I was a kid, I think I was mildly allergic to tomatoes. I think that probably didn't help. But also like, any kind of like, you know, especially like on pasta or something like that, it's got like chunks. It's got like squishy things. It's got stuff you can't identify. It's got like things that are spicier or not spicier. You know, like for me, it was like just a sensory nightmare. You know, it wasn't so much about the flavor as it was just the sensation, I think. And that's the thing for me. So like texture, like same, like if you get like sausages that are too gristly and you like bite into chunks of gristle, that's a no-go for me. Like,
Oh,
I would rather just
absolutely.
not eat
As
those
an adult,
sausages.
Not a problem at all.
That's still a problem for me.
I like when they go in your mouth. Right? That's
But then you bite into like a gristly bit and it's like a crunch and you're like, no thanks, no. That'll make me gag.
Okay, chat. You know what we gotta do during a meetup? If there's a meetup, I'm just saying. We're gonna get fed to do the cha-cha-ching.
I'm also not like super into like spicy food, but yeah, for me a lot of it's texture. I think for me a lot of it's texture. But I mean, I'm better than I was. Like I mean, I'll eat a lot of stuff now that I would not have eaten as a child for sure. I mean, I eat food that is touching. I eat food in the same mouthful where it's two different kinds of food. I'll eat like cooked mushrooms and onions and stuff. Like I'll eat cooked fruit. Cooked fruit was a no bueno when I was a kid too. I was like, no, thank you.
Occasionally.
Yeah,
Pineapple
that's what I mean. Like
pizza, absolutely fine.
A lot of it's like texture. Yeah, I'll do pineapple on pizza.
I like pineapple in a lot of things.
Yeah.
I like the pineapple.
Pineapple's pretty good.
It is, especially in chutney.
I don't know if
Mango
I don't think
pineapple chutney is.
I don't think I've ever had
with
chutney.
tacos. Oh, but like, okay. Well, if you like the sweetness of it, I would definitely propose testing out like a mango pineapple chutney for tacos.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
Well, that's a different kind of breed entirely, with tomato sauce on the side, of course.
That's the thing. Like when I was growing up, like tacos, I would only have the meat, cheese, and lettuce, nothing else. Now I will have meat, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and sour cream.
But you do at least eat regular tomatoes, right?
I eat tomatoes now. I can eat tomatoes now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's, I mean, I was born and raised on. I think across my lifespan, I probably tried over, well, closer to 200 tomato breeds. Because my parents, they were very much into gardening, and tomatoes were one of the big things.
Yeah. My
no,
mom was
no,
definitely
like-
into gardening for sure, but
Oh, tomatoes.
there's
tomatoes.
definitely pictures of me as a child, just like full on mouth first, just chomping like the top off of a broccoli, you know, straight out of the garden,
Ooh.
just going you know.
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
me. That's the one and only way to consume a broccoli, though.
Well, I mean, I love broccoli. I've always loved broccoli. Like that's the thing. Like getting me to eat at least broccoli was never a problem. If I was a kid, broccoli, broccoli, chicken, and like rice, like you could just, I would be happy forever. That would be fine. That's all I need.
Sounds like a yum situation to me.
Yeah, so it wasn't hard getting me to have like nutrition. It was just, you know, texture that was a problem.
I mean, I'm finding it to be a bit difficult with Casper these days because, I mean, if you're not having a regular like garden by yourself, especially in apartments, you can more or less just you're forced to go by the freezed food or the freezed vegetables in most of the times, which is it's okay. But as somebody growing up with a gardening family,
Yeah,
where
it
like
does,
absolutely
yeah.
everything fresh from the garden, it's like
Yeah.
I did not realize at the time what a fucking little brat I was. The luck that others did not have, where of course it was considered like really silly. Oh, your parents into fun.
Yeah,
like that was the upbringing,
basically
right? It's
anything
like,
that
this
was
is
good, we
stupid.
probably got insulted for.
Yeah, I know. And then
I
as
got
an adult, you
insulted
go,
for like being
"Oh."
smart and reading, and it's like okay.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? Right? people don't like intelligence, but then again, I
Yeah.
guess why?
Yeah, it's like
Intelligent people are problematic people.
Yeah, I mean, I also got insulted for just being weird, and it's like, yeah, true.
Isn't that the same as being alive?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I am weird. What's your problem? I was just more
I
weird.
mean, waking up in the morning can sometimes feel extremely weird.
I mean, I would dress up in like weird costumes and stuff eventually, just to be like, yeah, and
Oh, really?
yeah, like there was I think like grade 12 specifically, like the last year of high school, there was a bunch of times where I was just like, you know what? I think like the first year of grade 12, I went goth, and everyone's like, oh my god, you went goth over the summer, and I'm like, no. Next day, jeans and a t-shirt. You know, and like I think one of the days I went in like basically like the kind of costume you'd see in like a Shakespearean play. I had like the poofy shorts, the tights, I had a big fluffy like
God.
feather cap and everything. Everyone's like, oh, are you doing like a play? And I'm like, no. This is just what I wore to school today.
I mean, if you and I would have been the same age, we would have so fucking vibed because I was very much the same kind of weird kiddo. Like scarves was my thing. I had sometimes up to 4 or 5 scarves on at once.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, musician going like for arts and
Yeah, I mean, like I went to
Guilty.
school in like cause one year I got my mom to make me like a kimono for like one of my Halloween costumes, but
cool.
like a random day of the week I just wore the kimono to school, and same thing, people are like, oh, are you like in a play or something? I'm like, no, that's just what I'm wearing to school today. I'd like dress up in a full rainbow, like just like everything on my body was rainbow. I had like rainbow suspenders, rainbow, you know, skirt, rainbow shirt, rainbow whatever.
I mean,
what-
it's the years of your life where you're supposed to try out expression and see where
Yeah.
it lasts, right?
Yeah,
it's
I
finding
feel
your
like
community years.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't do enough of it, but yeah, I definitely, there was definitely days, there were definitely days where I had a lot of fun with it.
That's what adulthood puts on you. It goes, well, you can't do that as a person.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, I have to fit into society.
There was one of the days where I dressed up in full, like, I guess it would be more of like a gender bend kind of like cross-dress kind of outfit, basically, but it was just like I had one of those, you know, like piano coats with like the little tails, and like as a full, you know, and then we had a whole like talk that day about something related to like LGBTQ whatever, and I was like, oh well, you picked a day for that for me.
Thank you, fuckers.
Hello. You know, but yeah, like it was just that kind of thing where it's like, whatever, I'm just gonna, you know, and then, you know, you get the people that are like, because of the time, obviously, I think one of the things that people would insult me the most about in the hallways was watching anime, and I'm like, and?
Why would you insult somebody for that?
Well, and at the time they're like, oh, you just watch fucking Pokemon. I'm like, No, but you know that's cool that that's the only anime you know.
I absolutely fucking did. Many people know that I met my wife playing Pokemon Go, right? So
Yeah.
you
Well, I mean that for them it was an insult, and I'm like, I watched Dragon Ball Z actually. I did dress up as Vegeta one time, full spandex, full codpiece, full. I couldn't get my hair to go up, but everything else was like
in what scenario
accurate.
is that a bad go about?
Well, and everyone kept like walking up and knocking on my codpiece and being like, "Is this real?" And I'm like, "What do you think?" Like, and also in
I'm
what
protecting my Mando.
Yeah, and also in what world is it okay for you to come up and knock on this? Come on, unless you're my friend. If you're my friend, that's fine. But like,
at least stroke it. If you're gonna do it.
like at least, hello. Like, I am a teenager. Like, this is not okay.
Nope.
It's okay. My boyfriend at the time dressed up like Gohan, and there's a picture of me kicking him in the head. Basically.
Okay.
So,
I'll
hey, our first
forgive you
kiss
that.
was in a commercial break for Dragon Ball Z.
Yay. Okay.
It's okay. No, it's funny because his nickname later on was Gay Wookie Jesus. So you know.
But you don't. Please don't lean into it.
I mean,
That's not what I was asking for.
his nickname for me was Fire-Haired Devil Woman, so it's fine.
I mean, just yeah. Each to their own, as they say these days.
Yeah.
Each to their own.
Yeah, I mean, God, it was the early 2000s, so.
Yeah, I remember being a kid back then.
Yeah, I graduated high school in 2003, so.
Yeah, I was 7 years later, 2010. And please don't rub me as a freaking kid here. I know I am a kid. You don't have to go.
I mean,
like we're really, really.
you're no Lexi, but you're no Lapis either.
Well, in your world, I might as well be, right?
Well, depends on the conversation
defense.
topic. Depends on the conversation.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
I don't have any kids, so that's a whole other world that I don't know about.
It is funny that you mentioned like the anime people being called out, because I mean I know there's always been like a bit of like a weird backlash going about them, but funny enough, like I had many friends who were into anime and manga and stuff. Never was a big one of myself back then. But I also sat as the the register slash economics guy in the actual school. What's it called? When you're in high school, it's not like it's more like a student group or whatever the fuck. Because it's not student union in the same regard. I'm trying to remember like what the proper name for it would be. Is it just student union? I mean, I suppose it is a student union, like, right?
No, I don't know.
But it's like, well, a high school student union, so it's not the same level of like, you know, commitment as it is when you do like university unions and stuff. But I was doing the economics of that, mostly just to hang out, because I enjoyed the people. You know, they're mostly friendly. Mostly, some of them were biting, which is a thing apparently.
Biting?
That you girls, well, yeah, that you girls do when you're in your teenage years. I don't know, like, well, especially not you as all, but definitely a very specific group of girls have biting on their resume, and I don't know why, in the name of everything living, that's a thing.
I think a lot of people call that neurodivergency now.
No, right, all right, that's what it is, right? Just the.
It's just a different love language. I used to headbutt people when I was a kid.
If that was a love language and I didn't catch the beats, fuck, I'd feel frustrated now. As an
I don't
adult.
think I would bite somebody I didn't like.
So many opportunities lost.
I don't think I would bite somebody I didn't like.
No, I was bitten quite on the regular. See, that's the thing, right? I took it more as offense.
Oh, okay, well. There's your problem.
Right, well, screw me, apparently.
Apparently not.
I would have known that. I could have. I was way too old when I lost my virginity.
Why would I put somebody in my mouth if I wasn't interested? You know? I don't know.
This is not the conversation that I intended for the escalation to lead into, but now we're here and now we're rowing, so
Anime, high school. That was what you were talking about.
Yeah, it still goes back into the thing. It's just, and it's that particular group. I don't know. It was just something in that. yeah, something about their brains, the way they work. I haven't really figured it out.
Oh no!
You're
Finds a
doing
lot
the
of
swims.
feet. No, I fell in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do have the stream secondary here in the
Shasta,
background
thank
to
you
see
for
what you're
the
up to,
raid. Yeah, no, I just
so that you don't die.
Once in a while I fall in. That's fine.
I respect that. I'd have fallen every once in a
DST
while.
true. DST. Still another. I need to cross off days on my calendar so I can tell what day it is. How many days do we have until DST? A few.
You're asking a Swede. And my answer to that is going to be no clue.
11:10. Okay, between 10 and 11 apparently. So it is over a week.
Better than 6-7.
Hmm.
Did you have to do that, Kev? Yes, I had to do that.
2 Sundays from now. I don't even remember what day of the week it is most of the time. So.
I still can't get over the fact that biting would have been some kind of like subtle love language.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be like that they wanted to fuck you. It could just be that they had a crush on you or something,
sort of
and
just,
they were,
just like, yeah,
you
that's
know,
what I mean, like just the.
or even it could just be they really liked you as a friend, but like they didn't know how to express their.
Well, see, that's where I think it might have leaked.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it doesn't. When I say love language, it doesn't have to mean like romantic love.
It's
it
just
could
an
just be
expression of affection.
Yeah,
regardless of
yeah,
what the
yeah,
affection
yeah.
is itself, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine biting somebody that I didn't like unless it was like a dangerous situation. Like.
Yeah, no, it's okay, no, right, yeah, it took me a moment to realize what you were saying there, but
Yeah, but like generally, it's like I don't think I would bite somebody unless I liked them. But this is just my experience. Oh God, birds.
I'm having rounds going back in my mind right now about the idea of being bitten. I'm going to be very mindful of any bite marks on my son moving forward.
Oh
Let him know about
don't
it.
do that.
It's like, you should be aware that those are neurodivergent.
Well, I can't speak for everyone in the world. I'm just saying, in my experience.
You have mentally painted them for me, at least. I'm going to use that as an excuse for everything.
Oh my God, can you not bite me? Ah!
See? The phantoms are neurodivergent.
The phantoms love me. Oh my God, I'm going to die to these phantoms.
It's just the language of affection. That's what it is.
Yeah, but this is different. This is a danger situation.
Allow them the nibbling.
This is definitely different.
No, it's just gentle nibbling, Fed. Nothing but gentle nibbling.
If I die, it's more than gentle nibbling.
I mean, you're doing it in a video game, though, so...
That is too far away.
Wait. Is the Phantom technically Mojang nibbling its player base?
Dunno.
Now that took a weirder turn.
I mean, they are giving us babies, so...
Okay, let's leave it there. Okay, let's move to
Impregnation in the next update?
bed. Move on.
Hey, that's a Saturday, right? We get news and stuff, right? Maybe we'll find out.
Back to my bed. Back to my bed. Just mentally moving back into my stony stone. Minecraft's next update: babies and bumping.
I mean, they do want to teach, kids about the world.
No.
They got the birds and the bats or whatever. They still need to change it to birds and the bees, I think. But they definitely need to change the raid captain one. The raid captain one is so wrong.
I'm not reading that out.
Yeah.
Weatherman, Christ.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically they are. Yeah. Well, no, that's not what I meant to say. I meant more so just technically that entity does that thing that
it
sounds
does do
like
that.
the stuff.
It definitely does that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to clear my palate. I mean, I'm known for being a bit of a dirty boy sometimes, but that right there is way outside of my league.
I'm just saying that you did it, not me.
Maybe I invited.
Uh-huh.
It's one thing to invite, and it's one thing to have your arm bitten off.
Yeah, well, I didn't bite your arm off, though.
No, but they did.
Yeah, true.
Chat
Nom,
went,
nom, 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 nom.
pretty much that. No worries about it. I mean, I would lean into it more unless I was careful about what I do in the background of your stream. I don't want you to end up in trouble, Fed, because of me, right? Very, very mildly aware of that risk.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
That's what it is.
Oh, no, go on. What were you saying?
No. I mean, I do have boundaries. I'm mostly just wordplay and puns and euphemism, so I don't go too far. It just I get a rep for going too far, but I don't go too far.
I mean, then again, what is too far?
I think it's when you
in comedy
cook a
right?
pizza in a air fryer.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's taking it way beyond the comfort zone, at least. That's the same as nibbling a friend without telling them that you're secretly sort of into them in some regard.
Yeah. I mean, when you're a teenager, you're still
say.
figuring that out, so you might not even know. You might just be like, I want to bite this person.
Yeah, no, for sure. Christ, don't take me back. Sometimes those memories feels like vivid yesterday, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely...
go back there in mind, you're like, oh, I can remember the smell of the room we were in. And when we had the movie nights with the student union, the anime student union, we were down at one of the friends' house, and they had like a movie projector screen, and we were up to 18 people sitting there, just like on like sake backs and stuff, just watching anime. And one of the guys, one of the oldest guys, super slender guy who nowadays actually works as a masseuse, which is really funny. He, randomly out of nowhere would just pull his freaking shirt off, bring out, because he would have with him like massage oil, just like a massive fucking can of massage oil. Go like, who's gonna have a massage? And then
this
there would
was
be this
anime
massage oil
night,
smell in the
is
room,
what you're saying.
with these teens watching anime.
So people are biting each other and taking their shirt off and massaging each other with massage
If I would have
oil.
known better as an adult now, I would have thought that was definitely a student orgy.
Yeah, and you're saying that you're confused? You're not sure if there was any kind of...
I didn't read into it as that back then. I'm a very innocent young man. Remember, I was a cellist. I played a cello. I did the drawing and the 3D. That was what I did. Never would I have pondered about the fact that there might have been a completely thirsty group of hungering teens with no actual sense of remorse or self-control.
And what kind of anime were you watching
around half
exactly?
naked in a basement.
Should I be questioning your choice in anime and what kind of things were going on in it? Because I've seen anime. Anime.
I mean, the one I remember of all of the animes we watched was Paprika. It's the one and only that actually ever stuck. Because of how fucking weird it is.
I mean, yeah.
But I do like it, though. I'm not saying it's a bad anime. I'm just saying, we're...
I mean, so did the director of Inception. They also liked it a lot.
Yeah, no wonder.
Ripped off like a bunch of scenes. Yeah.
So now everybody's remembering their horny teenage years in chat. Happy to hear that.
I'm just thinking back
I was also in the basement.
I'm thinking back to I'm thinking back to some times, that's for sure.
Thanks for doing that little pause before. Oh my god.
I'm thinking back to some times I don't know if I should repeat.
I could feel that in the room as you were saying. I was like, oh, that was about to go south fast. Okay, let's stop there, rewind, do not just... Oh my god. Oh, fucking hell. So how's the pollen season over there? Is it good?
I don't know. It's been raining like every single day this year, basically, in Ireland.
Lucky sod.
I don't know if it's still literally, but like at least a week or two ago, it was literally every single day into 2026 was rain. somewhere in Ireland, so it's just non-stop.
Somewhere
But the next,
in Ireland.
I think the next 3 or 4 days we actually get some sun, so gonna do some gardening and some yard work. I did some yard work today, but it was overcast.
Some gardener and gardener.
Yeah. Fork the
Sounds
lawn
good.
so it can actually like drain some of the muddy, mucky rain and stuff. Right now our
You hear
lawn
that,
is more
chap?
moss and mud than grass.
Oh well, that's one of those. Oh, right,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
nice.
Not great.
That's sucky.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
It's not fun to take care of either.
No, that's what I mean. It's like I don't care about whether or not we have grass. It's just walking around on mud in the backyard is not ideal.
It's not fun, innit?
It's not nice. And then the kitty comes in all muddy, and then
And you have to squish it to get all the juice out of it.
the kitty.
And you make a good cocktail. I meant like the pelt.
Oh. Yeah, no, he'll like jump up on things and leave muddy footprints, and it's like no.
You ever pondered about having like a frying pan sort of floor inside, when you get in, so it just sears the underside?
No,
Burns it all in,
I
stuff,
have not
right?
actually considered that. Although I know some
mean,
places do have like underfloor heating.
I'm just starting to ponder now what it would be like if every house had one of those steel
griddles?
What was it? Yeah, well, that would be. You just spray yourself when you get in. Yeah. No, I was thinking of like a oh the fuck, really the words today.
No, I don't do words.
A freaking slide. See how bad it is.
Oh, yeah.
just a proper steel slide, right? The ones that's been sitting out in the summer, you go, oh, I want to go without that, and you sit down, on
And
it,
then,
and
yeah.
the moment your ass cheeks touch it, you go.
I was gonna
"That's
say,
a
and then
very
it's the
bad
summer,
choice."
so you're already wearing like shorts, and you go.
Well, see, the face. I could see the anime face of that emotion.
That was your ass cheeks. I mean, that's.
What were once ass cheeks has now become seared steak,
Yeah.
loin steak.
God, just imagining some of the like these just car chairs with like the vinyl like seats and stuff, and then you get in the car and you're like, ah.
Ooh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Or just like a classic. I mean, even like freaking leather seats in a car with black leather. For those absolute retards who thought that was a cool idea. Oh yeah, let's have black weather, and then people say in the summer there's no air conditioning in the cars because it's an older car and it's kind of cold. Okay, so what's the goal of this car? That I'm gonna be burning to death while sitting in the back seat? Nope.
Okay.
It is a thing in and of itself.
I haven't
It's
been
good to
inside a
remember
vehicle in a very long time, so. Don't really
Have you not been inside of a vehicle?
Not for.
For those purposes?
I'm trying to think, like, year, 2, 3, I don't know. It's been a while.
Damn. I more or less live in my car these days, unwillingly. Well, that's what I do. Like, between being on here and doing everything else, I wake up in the morning early, I take my family off to their different locations with the car, and then I come home and I park the car, and then I sit and idle and wait for when I'm going to take the car and go and pick them up.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I've
what
had
it feels
times.
like. It's not what it is, but it's what it feels like, you know?
Yeah, I've had times in my
Like-
life like that. Where I was like the chauffeur basically for everybody else.
Yeah, it's I don't mind it, but it. There's the when is my morning sleep is going to come into this? Because the reason why we have it that way is because my wife has every day is a different schedule. Well, she does have a hard schedule now. Like, well, back when she was working as a preschool teacher in a different preschool, then she didn't. And every other week was a new schedule entirely. But it's like every day is a different time, right? So Casper has stuck times at preschool where he is there. I think was it is 7:30 till 4 o'clock in the afternoon most of the days. And then her times around that is like either she starts early and she ends before he ends, because there is a half an hour that you can have the kids at preschool between like the regular work times and stuff to pick them up. So whoever is the so the way we do the calculations is actually, since I'm working as a business from home, then of course all hours of the day are hours I could be working, and since I'm also doing the chauffeuring, we're having a bit of like leniency towards how those hours are approached, since I do very late night hours usually, and I should have rest in between and stuff as well. Then when we end up having is that we base his schedule around her schedule. So the half hour before or after she drops off at work is when he's allowed to be dropped off and picked up after as well. So it's like her schedule is the one that controls his schedule as of right now. And I'm somehow slotting into that schedule. So I can sit up till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get something done for a video or something. That's mostly, I would consider, a bit of spare time, because it's not really a lucrative approach. But, one has to approach YouTube as well as part of everything, because YouTube is part of my branding and marketing. As somebody who did tutorials for years and still make tutorials and still work on making more, they are and have been the number one tool technically to get clients over the years. Didn't think of it back then, but it is, because people find the toys and they go, oh, this guy is knowledgeable, and then
he can do it for me.
Right, yeah.
I don't need to follow the tutorial, I just get him to do it. Clearly he knows how to do it.
Reach out, right, and that's how I'm going most of my Minecraft work, and that's why Minecraft has been consistently my number one and only, as of right now, job for us. Because people say like, oh, you work with Minecraft, what do you do? I'm like, pretty much everything. I write YouTube scripts, I make models, animations, code, background stuff, mod stuff, bedrock stuff. And then, between that is content creation for myself or for others, and being in others' recordings as like a stand-in person and whatnot. Like this space is, completely taken up my entire life. And I don't even play games for fun. Like it's when I'm not working in one aspect of the game, I'm moving over to another aspect of the game and working there instead. It's most I'm just jumping between obligations, technically, in some regards. Obligations because, to me, everything creative I've done, as somebody who was an artist as a kid, moving over to doing everything creative as a potential income source, it means that everything I do is potentially work. So there's never the doing it for myself these days. And that's why I'm trying to enjoy Minecraft as much as I can by doing a bit more crazy editing and builds the way I do it. Like, I find this to be both a bit of like an investment, hoping it's going to be a bit more lucrative at some point in the future. But likewise, it's just a place where expressionism that gets to take place. It's like relaxing. It's an outlet. Yeah, it's a very creative outlet. That's partially for myself. Why I wouldn't want to admit that openly, but now I did in your stream, so people know I can own the camera for that.
I mean, it's fine that it's an outlet.
Yeah, I think everything you do should be an outlet, especially if you, like me, have built your world about like all your creative endeavors into something that you're forcefully trying to make work as a potential income source. Then it doesn't matter. Like, finding relaxation and just having fun is difficult unless you have a community around you that you can actually leverage for that. And a community of fans is very different to a community of people that you do stuff with, like a friend group, like Minecraft in a sense, right? Because this space allows you to lean in and out of events and conversations and regular banter and or more planned out content on the regular, so that you flip and slide between what kind of feels like it drives the boat forward creatively at the time, which is a much more like mentally stable way for it to be, which is also why I'm investing so much in it, because I really would want this place to blow up in the future, to whatever extent of investment that's going to tarry on. It doesn't matter, but I want to see it there. So it could be a bit more, even more with love as opposed to love and thought, to it. Of course, the thought still has to be there, but the more love it could be exclusively, the more fun I think it would be as well for that recreational side of it. And that's been my TED Talk. I can't deep today. No, I'm not really deep. I'm just being honest. Can you toss me a random block palette, Fed? Not random as in rainbows.
Random block palette. I don't know.
Could
Usually
be on
when
one
I
block palette.
figure out a block palette, I go into creative and then I just like put a bunch of blocks on the ground and then I add and remove until
See,
I like them.
the problem with that is that I would have to leave the server to join
No, I
it.
know, but that's like when I'm deciding a block palette, I'll just like physically place blocks and then go, oh, I like
I
those
know,
two side
I
by
do the
side.
same, but since I'm in a conversation with you, I thought, and you were also doing so much with different blocks from over there, like, yeah, she's gonna be knowledgeable about this.
I mean, not that I
Give you credit
can't,
for this
but
now.
I don't have brain cells. That's why I'm placing blocks.
It is so funny that you say those words.
Yeah.
Because of what I just said moments ago about like how I'm approaching the stuff working on Minecraft. As much as this is like, the size of the builds and whatnot, it is very much the same for me. Like placing blocks and just building requires no brain.
I mean, I'm
is
doing
the-
like less than building, but yeah, it's certainly.
Yeah, but it is that like it's I mean I've been building in this game for years and years as well, so I see it very much as like just it's the same as taking up a canvas, drinking a glass of red wine and just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, just doing some doodling,
Yeah. Though it has to be doodling with construct of recordings usually around it.
Yeah,
But
but I mean,
I'll
like,
tell you
it can be
all.
the similar kind of brain space,
It is very much that. I'll tell you all watching right now, in the video I'm doing a snap edit, so everything I'm working on right now is not going to be shown as I'm working on it because it's just so much time invested in figuring out shapes, and it's not fun to cover that in a video. Like, I mean, I guess some people are into it, but the way I do my videos with the packaging, I could never properly cover a for 3 hours. Nobody would
Yeah.
watch that without starting to tear their head off, especially with me talking on top of it. It would be too much at once.
That's part of my
Especially
problem
if
with
I
wanting
also-
to do like some pranks and stuff is that it just takes so much thought and effort to like design first, and I'm like, I don't want to do that, and then also do the by the time I do the prank, if I do it on stream and I design it on stream, they'll already know the entire prank. It's like, so I have to spend the time
Yeah.
off camera to like design and plan, and then even possibly
Yeah,
build,
exactly.
and then it's like, okay, that's a lot of time investment.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to that. Like this prison build, for example, as of right now. I mean, it's going to be a prison, and I think people would be more interested. That's also one of the things. Like, what part of this build is more interesting to look at when it's being packaged into a video? So right now, building the foundation, it's just a grey clump. Would people care about a grey clump? Everything else is going to be a big grey clump as well, but it's more more interesting since it's going to be growing, like size-wise. It's raising up, right? And that in and of itself, I think, usually there's something about things racing from the ground that people are
Yeah.
interested in. I don't know.
Yeah, they're kind of
as
like,
opposed to
I
just
think people say like satisfying.
exactly that. It's like sometimes. I mean, I've done the roads and things around up in this industrial area that I'm building, and I'll have to be very creative with the way they do the time lapses because I know myself, infrastructure is something that people don't really give two fucks about in terms of content. It's just not interesting unless there's something to it that makes it interesting. But if it's just, I'm going to pull a road from here to here, you could just also pull the road from here to here and call it done, right? Why are you filming all of these stages? And I think what I get away with is the packaging, the way I do it in the videos, because I want there to be emotional, investments in like with the music and all of the balancing. So watching it comes in a multi-layered fashion where portion of whatever happens before in the edit may need a cooldown, and that's a good moment to have something quite like almost reluctant to be relevant content, like a little road or something be built as a time lapse that happens to just take down the essence of the previous mode or set up for something coming like next in what I'm planning to do after that, or like those are the thoughts that's always in the back of my mind, and I'm doing stuff. But now I've been doing so much building already this season, or with very similar themes. We're still in an industrial area that people probably aren't super interested in that portion. So let's move ahead from that and then just do something else. And I think one of the reasons to why I even started thinking in that way is because that's what Dallas did when he was on the server. Like he would never show the builds on camera. Maybe did a bit of like building, but most of it's just like, I built this house now. Right, okay. And his viewers would be fine with that. So I was starting thinking myself, like, okay, I don't have to cover everything, although it is a good benchmark to try to make a good like portfolio of all the events that's going on. But if the events are only covered by one person, it's not that interesting. There would be a lot of content to go through as well.
AJ in the chat. I had to squeeze it in before you kept going.
Well, no, I'm really glad that she's there.
Oh, AJ
She
in the
better
chat.
stay in chat, because if she comes onto the server, she's going to see that I still haven't done anything to her base.
Well, I'm only going to be going for another 5 minutes anyways, but...
No, there's always stuff to talk about. I think there would be opportunities for a proper podcast at some point, discussing content development and philosophies and stuff like that across the board. That several here would be interested in leaning into in some regards, whether it's the daily formats or the more edited formats. It's just understanding like as an audience, getting to understand the premise and the thought that goes in behind content is probably a bit eye-opening.
Well, just being able to, like, share your own kind of experiences and discuss, like, you know, things that you don't normally get to talk about, because a lot of this inside baseball stuff, nobody really talks about.
No, of course, exactly.
So you just don't have anyone else to talk about, like, about these things that are something that you spend, like, you know, hundreds, thousands of hours thinking about, like, years thinking about, you know, where it's like...
Sometimes, yes.
This is literally my life. I've been thinking of this for years, but I don't have anyone to talk about this with because, you know, all the people in my life are like, oh, you play video games? Cool. It's like, you know.
Yeah. No, there's... I think there would definitely be an opportunity for it, or even that one. You know, since I'm seeing that AJ would be down for a podcast, but just like because Cone has the ABBA caving stuff, but... The ABBA is always about presenting a person. I think that a natural development for that would definitely either be through him to go for more just open-ended topic conversations with one or a couple of people and make that into something. We also now, Cone, if you're hearing this in post, it's free content. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I feel like he would probably say, I don't have time, but if someone else wanted to do that, they're cool.
Yeah, I think that there's opportunity for it.
Definitely.
Always opportunity for it. But it's relevant at the end of the day as well, because as a viewer of creators myself, I definitely have learned a lot by like listening in on their thought process, and when they open up is often when you get, whilst it's not the entire full truth in the picture.
It's still only a portion of their life, but...
Yeah, right.
A moment of a portion. Even if they're being completely honest, it's just the thought they're having right now. You know, like it can only always be a portion, but it's still, you know.
Like, try to explain that to people in the past. Like, can you teach me everything you know? Like, well, are you willing to sit here for 10,000 hours?
Yeah, like it's
that would be
impossible.
scratching the surface. So I think I said this to somebody else, like in a conversation a couple of weeks back. This was not on content, but since I studied sound design for games, and I've done video editing for years, and all of that on top of everything else, music as well. Then it came to a point where whilst I was sitting and editing videos here, I think it was a year ago or something, it just struck my mind that everything I know in terms of sound design and like writing music sheets is exactly the same. It's just completely transferable to video editing. Making code, planning scripts, completely like transferable to editing, because it's all storytelling. Like the moment you realize and or figure out that it's the same beats you're working with, that everything is based on pace, rhythm, pauses, intensity, breaking
You say
points.
horses? You say horses?
No, pauses.
Oh, pauses.
Yeah.
Seriously? Okay. I was say horses. I was like, what do you mean
you
horses?
say horses, because I do say horse to my son every once in a while as an answer to his question, just to tease him, and he gets angry as fuck.
I mean, I would too. I'd be like, what, Dad?
I don't know. Trust is like, are you a horse? I sometimes just randomly ask during the day, and he goes, I'm a fucking horse. Well, he doesn't swear, but you know, the intensity of it is technically that. And he says a lot about killing.
I just thought you were trying to like see if I was listening.
No.
I was also gonna say, like, I mean, all that stuff could also be transferable to something like video game design, or you know, like there's other things you could probably
even
cross
baking.
You know, yeah.
It is just as somebody who likes philosophy. At the end of the day, I think it's healthy for the mind to enter the space of anything I know anywhere else could be applied here on the same premise. It's just that maybe I don't have the tool sets to execute it, but logically I can assess it in the same way. And if I approach something creatively, regardless of what it is, I'll probably make sense out of it just because I am approaching it creatively as opposed to structurally. Because the structure is built, like everything is built in a framework, and the framework, regardless of how much we try to avoid it, is very clearly there in everything. Because that's what storytelling is at the end of the day. I mean, even a recipe is a story.
Especially if you read
you
one of
wanna
those
break it
blogs
down.
with like 1,000 ads.
No. That's not story.
There's
That's
story.
seizure.
There's story. It's just, here's how I'm going to put my mark on this so that, because you can't really, like, claim recipes because everyone's, written the same recipe 1,000 times. But, I can write this story about my grandma. And...
But see, that's the thing, though. Even if everybody has written recipes 1,000 times, any person writing a recipe in a new take will change how the recipe is perceived. And there's individuality to every presentation. And
the amount
that's
of
what I
times,
love about art.
The amount of times I've even seen where it's like somebody will post a recipe that like I've seen 1,000 times, but it's like, oh, this is a new trending recipe because of this other person just posted it. So it's like, oh, okay. So then everybody and their dog has like now they make their own version of this recipe we've all seen before, but because somebody made it trendy, it's like, oh, okay. So because that video went viral, now everybody's going to make their own version of this thing, so we get more iteration because people are trying to jump on that train,
And
so people
iteration
come up with more
is-
ideas and stuff.
Yeah, and iteration is usually, or it is what feeds, expression at the end of the
Yeah.
day, and then people can pick up what they like, and then they need to. Okay, I'm about to take this in a train of thought that completely undermines and undercuts this conversation, because when things get spread wide, then we want to start putting it in different folders and categorize it, and then we stick to a certain category because that's and we hate every people from other category. We don't understand them. They're our nemesis now, and now we have to fight for a category to be the one right category at all times. And there are people that act like that. Sadly, whatever it comes down to. If that disappeared in this world, we would have a much better time altogether.
Yeah. No need to
Just-
fight about it. May as well just
No, exactly.
learn
Just
from each other and find what makes you happy and bite those people and,
and eat the firstborn babies.
no, that's different.
Well, since I knew that you were about to end, I'm just.
That's why I was trying to make jokes about your biting experiences. Yeah, this is not getting done. I've got to start on it.
I mean, any start is a good step in the right direction.
Yeah, this is just one of those things. The reason why I was working on it is because it is a pain in the ass, and I was like, I'm gonna work on this because this is gonna suck.
I
I have to
respect you
click
for the
bone meal on
commitment.
every single. Basically, have to place every single block, place 9.5 shulkers worth of blocks, and then click every single one of those blocks with bone meal. Woohoo!
Have you ever
Yay.
wondered if you're mentally stable?
Yo, yeah, multiple times. I do own a straitjacket.
Oh, you do?
I do. It's
Not
not.
only
It's
for
in
pleasure,
Canada.
I see.
It's in Canada. Yeah, it's in Canada, but I do own a straitjacket, so there's never been any question.
I think that there is definitely moments where people would have wanted to put me on one, but I can't strain myself. Wink, wink.
You ever have one of those like kid like leashes, but for you, like?
No.
Not yet.
As much as I may come across as a person that could do with one, never.
Oh, not in real life, just in your internet life.
No. I think people have at different times had a challenge with my my outgoingness, but it's just because they don't have perspective themselves to realize it's just a portion of a character rather than anything else. It's like sitting down and talking like we've done today. I think is a way to showcase the different portion of the Kev that others don't normally see. It's just rare that I choose to be grounded because it's boring. But that's like I said. I mean, everything I do online to me is in some sort of fashion like giving from me to others for entertainment or content or whatever it is. So I don't try to be the boring, very internalizing version of myself when I'm in somebody else's content, ever. Although you would definitely hear a very moody and boring and butthurt Kev otherwise. It's not the fun one to listen to. You already know he exists. It's just part of the background work of Minecraft. But I don't feel like others need to get him out on the streets and beat him with a beating stick just for the sake of it.
I mean, we're always different people at different times, even to ourselves, so.
Oh yeah.
It's like whenever,
One version of
if you ever
myself.
had like your parents pick up the phone and have like a totally different voice and you're like, who is that?
Yeah, I can relate to that heavily. But the version of myself that I think I appreciate the most is the musician one. The one that just wants to have fun without like constraint, where sitting and playing the guitar and just laughing for nothing is the one true state of being. Because that's what I did a lot. Like,
Do you get that
one of
guy
my
out
friends,
much,
we-
or? Do you bring that guy out for a walk much?
These days, not as much as I should. Not as much as I should. It's like...
I feel like that's something that your son would like to know more about.
Oh, it's definitely will give him as much as possible of that character down the lane. But it's also trying to figure out like where, if I'm gonna go into it extremely enthusiastically and force feed that into him, or if I'm
No,
gonna
I
have
just
him
mean like
discover
you're
it
saying,
piece by
like the
piece.
enjoyment and the laughing and the, just daddy having a great
I think
time.
my son has picked up on Dad being a bit of a nitwit.
Yeah, but like daddy can have a great time and also be like, look, this is what daddy has a great time with, what do you want, like when he's old enough to actually have wants and needs and like be exploring life in that way and being like, oh, actually this is what makes me happy, this is what I like.
I've said to myself that whatever he wants to try out, I'm gonna stand behind him in it. I think that's the baseline way to approach things, and then how achievable that commitment is it's gonna have to play itself out there and then. But mentally, that's where I want to be. Like, failing is not a problem. That's just sometimes it doesn't.
That's just a
work
part
out.
of the process.
Exactly right. But even as somebody who wants to commit to somebody else, like failing for myself, wanting to commit to him shouldn't be a problem. Like that's fine. But knowing that I want to do it for him is is the
Parents are
driving
allowed to
force,
make mistakes
technically.
too. Sometimes it takes the kids
absolutely.
a while to figure that out, but
As long as it's not in one ends and ends up understood in the other, I think that's the important thing
yeah.
at the end of the day. But I mean, this is a topic that we could. That's a can of worm. We could open up at a later time, have a deep conversation about. Because I have stuff to share of my painful past as a mentally sad, crushed teenager boy trying to figure out life and getting backstabbed over and over for committing too much emotionally to the things. I still do that to this very day. I think that's one of my personal biggest weaknesses, as much as it's also my biggest strength, that I overcommit to most things that I enjoy. And that's just either you like it or you don't. I think that I had a teacher once who said, like, you're the kind of person that people either will hate or love. There's rarely going to be an in-between. I can reason with that, and I don't find that to be discouraging. I find it more so to be like, that's the proof of concept of how I want to treat the world then. Because if the world wants me to be in it, it'll allow me to be in it. And if it doesn't want me there, it'll push me away. And I don't have to worry about it at that point, because that's then technically already written in the book. Like, the situation will tell where the story goes, and the story drifts at all times. So it's just being willing to pick up an opportunity or a beat. I'm very much a yes sayer, though. I think that's one of the things that's come out of it. If something fun is on the horizon, I usually lean into it. Whether that's for my own entertainment or if it's somebody else, like, that doesn't matter too much. But it's that could be fun. That could lead to something. Let's do it. It's just curiosity, and that's what I know for a fact Casper has inherited. He has definitely inherited my curiosity.
That's good.
Because the day he loses that, I'm gonna be the saddest dad in all the lands. I don't want anybody to ever lose curiosity, because that's the one thing that feeds everything. Especially leaning into the topics I spoke about earlier, how creativity is, technically powered exclusively by that. Not saying that straight out in that conversation, but that's what I was alluding to. If you're not curious, then you won't find what the opportunity could lead into. You won't find out anything about anything. So stay curious, people. Said by others in the past, I will say it again. Stay curious.
And on that note...
See, TED Talk ending. I like that.
As much as I would like to keep going, I do need to stop, and my wrist also needs to stop.
I'll let you have a good rest of your day, Fed. It was a joy talking about the more regular topics.
Regular?
With me. Or maybe, I don't know. Okay, I mean, not regular as in regular. I meant more like...
Yeah, regular is just such a weird word.
Regular is not the word that I meant. No, it's not the word that you have to remember I'm Swedish, right? Try to figure out a word.
I just don't speak English most of the time.
Maybe more down to earth topics. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Maybe it's not down to earth. I don't know. I'm just saying things now. Leave. Okay. Cut me out.
And it's funny because I just make a noise and then you like have to re-explain yourself, and I'm just thinking still. I'm like, yeah, listening, thinking, and you just got on a whole other... You re-explained it a different way, and I'm like, and then you're like, oh, no. And I'm like, I'm still thinking.
So that's what I mean. I'm always 200% speed forward. It's going to shoot me in the back at some point. I'll enjoy it, though.
Well... Oh my goodness. I'll leave you with that.
Yeah. And you enjoy yourself, and stream chat. I hope that all of you have a fantastic rest of your day as well.
See you later.
See ya.
Alright. Thank you all for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed the stream. My wrist hurts. Weatherman, thank you for the resub. Very much appreciated. Who are we gonna raid? Yeah, my wrist was sore before I started, and then I decided to do that, which was maybe not the best choice, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh my goodness. Who are we gonna raid? High polyphenol something. Okay, if they're gonna play ads in my following page, they should at least let me fucking read the ad before it changes. Oh, we got a Ben. We're ready to Ben. Thank y'all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll see how sore and tired I am tomorrow. Oh, goodness. Kitty's certainly conked out. I'm out. Night-night.